Hi, and welcome to our visit to the historic city of Wells. Said to be the smallest city in England, Wells is nestled in the southwest of the UK, in the beautiful county of Somerset. As I said, historic, and that history is all around you, and we'll explore that. If it looks familiar, then that may be because the Wells posted as the village of Sandford in the 2007 Edgar Wright film, Hot Fuzz. We'll explore the key points, such as the cathedral, the Bishop's Palace and Gardens, plus the city's marketplace. I will start with our arrival at our accommodation, the Swan Hotel. This gives you a taste of Wells. Strictly speaking, the City of London, the square mile, is the smallest city in England, but the City of London is a little unique. Wells is a city with a community. Here's the Swan Hotel. Getting into the car park was a squeeze, not helped by a little ongoing maintenance, but it wasn't too difficult in the end. We booked the Swan Hotel because of its location and the fact it had an EV charger. It's a shame it wasn't a dedicated space, but we did manage to get a charge, which meant our 388-mile road trip cost us £3.75 in fuel. If you want to know more about that, then leave me a comment below. Fans of Hot Fuzz may recognise the hotel as Sergeant Angel's accommodation. Don't worry, the rooms are much nicer than in the movie. The Swan Hotel has its own patio area overlooking the cathedral. As you can see, you're a stone's throw from it. In fact, a short walk down Sadler Street from the Swan Hotel, you turn the corner and you're in Marketplace. Turn in the opposite direction and you're on the High Street. Look down and you'll see a stream of water from the Wells. Yes, you guessed it, that's where the city gets its name from, and we'll see more of the Wells later. Then we have the Crown at Wells, whose exteriors feature in Hot Fuzz. Oh, and if you think I have an obsession with Hot Fuzz, it doesn't help when you head into the Crown and can order a pint of Hot Fuzz from the local Wookiee Brewing Company. I think Wells has embraced Hot Fuzz. Back to the marketplace, and as I said, history is all around you. From the Bishop's Gate House and the Penniless Porch of around 1451 to the Georgian Town Hall of 1779. But Wells' history goes back much further, coming to prominence as a Roman settlement. The great thing was we were here on Wednesday, one of the two market days, the other being Saturday. The first thing that grabbed me was that this market was for locals. Don't get me wrong, there's some nice stalls to have a little mooch around for us tourists, but generally it felt like a place where you may be able to snaffle a little bargain on your travels. It also made us feel like it was a nice place to live too. As with all our videos, there's a ton of stuff in the description below to check out, with links to useful sites. We use Historic England to check out the history of the buildings around us, plus I'll add the links to Wells tourism, including the market info. And of course, if you're enjoying this, then give us a like. And if you like my style of video, then why not hit subscribe and click on that notification bell. As we finish our little look around Wells Market, we're going to jump around less than half a mile to St Cuthbert's Church, another location for that movie, and well worth a look inside. It's a 13th century church which was modified in the 15th and 19th centuries, and such an impressive ceiling too. When you visit a historic place of worship, you're generally in the oldest part of town. And as we stroll back past the City of Wells almshouses towards the cathedral, I want to shout to the City Arms pub, our first stop for a bite to eat and a refreshment after our drive to Wells. And there we are met with the warmest of welcomes and "What can I get you, my lovelies?" in what appeared to be a line from Hot Fuzz. The warm friendliness was omnipresent throughout Wells, and it's why we'd say visit, spend a night or two, you won't be disappointed. Another mention, and that's to the White Hart, opposite Brown's Gatehouse. It offered a bewildering selection of 10 to 15 different craft ales and ciders, along with some great food. That was a second day's lunch taken care of. Stepping through Brown's Gatehouse, and we enter the Cathedral Green, a great open space enjoyed by locals, and on the north side, home to the Wells and Mendip Museum. Outside the museum is a memorial stone to the last fighting Tommy, Harry Patch, who died in Wells in 2009 at the age of 111. As you spin round, you'll have the north face of Wells Cathedral, where you can catch the exterior dial of the astronomical clock. Then you'll stumble across the wonderful decorative chain gate, a mixture of a 12th century lower part and a 15th century upper walkway. Passing through the chain gate, and we come to Vicars Close. 2 rows of houses that are claimed to be Europe's oldest purely residential street, with the original buildings intact, dating from the 14th century. As we pass under the Vicar's Hall, you're greeted with a slight optical illusion. The lane at the far end is 10 feet or 3 metres narrower to make it look longer. Once you get to the far end and the Vicar's Chapel and Library, it looks shorter. Another thing you may notice is the different weather. Yes, our visit at Wells was over 2 consecutive days in July. That's the Great British Summer for you, but it didn't spoil our enjoyment of visiting Wells. And now you can see how much narrower it is by the Vicar's Chapel and Library. And now it's time to take a look at a must-see in Wells, and that's the Cathedral. I have to be honest, this is going to be the abridged version. I will create a full version in the coming months and add a link at the end when it's ready. Hopefully you can still enjoy the beauty of this 12th century cathedral, dedicated to St Andrew the Apostle, and the seat to the Bishop of Bath and Wells. There's no charge for people who wish to come into the cathedral to pray, attend a service or light a candle. Otherwise there is a small fee, or you can get a joint ticket that allows you access to the Bishop's Palace and Gardens. Both tickets are valid for 12 months, and you can visit as many times as you want. Our tip is, if you plan to visit, pre-book your ticket online, pick it up as soon as possible, and you can visit when you want. Guess who didn't do that? In the gardens you can find the remains of earlier places of worship, the earliest dating from Roman times. Anyway, let's take a glimpse of St Andrew's Wells. I know, not great, but we will get a better view later. Let's pass under the Penniless Porch and pass through the Bishop's Eye Gate towards the Bishop's Palace. None of this requires a ticket, and I'll let you know when we need one for the Bishop's Palace and Gardens. You'll notice Wells had a special place for swans. In fact, on the right-hand tower of the gatehouse is a bell. The swans can ring it to get fed, although to stop them from becoming a little too greedy, the rope is hidden most of the time. It also explains the missing swan reference in Hot Fuzz. And a little bit of trivia, Edgar Wright, the writer and director of Hot Fuzz, grew up in Wells. Another bit of popular culture, and fans of the Blackadder comedy series will know what I mean. I had so much trouble saying the Bishop of Bath and Wells without preceding it with baby eating. If you don't know what I mean, search for Blackadder Series 2 and the episode Money. Enough of that, it's time to get those tickets out again. And we're in the grounds of the Bishop's Palace and Gardens in Wells. As you may be able to tell, the weather's not great. Again, we're going to look at an abridged version. The full version will arrive later. Or maybe it's at the end now. The Bishop doesn't live here, his home's next door. But the palace experience does give you a feel of how it would have looked in its heyday. As nice as the Bishop's Palace is, the real reason for our visit is to experience the 14 acres of gardens. Just wish the weather had been a touch better. These gardens are protected by the walls we saw earlier. They also hold the source of St Andrew's Wells, so water is very much part of the gardens. And here's those wells I promised you earlier. Remember, in the full video we'll take a much better look, but as evening draws in I feel a pint of Hot Fuzz calling and a rather nice meal at the Crown at Wells. So that just leaves me to say thanks so much for watching, take care, stay safe and happy travels.